Hey Red Bay Primary School, it's Katie from yesterday's Reefs Go Live Underwater Symbiosis lesson here with Evan and Noelle, and we're going to answer your questions that we maybe didn't get to underwater yesterday. So, without further ado, here we go.
Jack from 5C asks, how do you know the relationships between them?
Ooh, so Jack wants to know how I knew the relationships between those different symbiotic relationships underwater. And Jack, I gotta say, school. So went through school just like you guys are doing now and learning about different kinds of symbiosis, not just underwater but also terrestrial, and just the differences between those. Basic environmental science classes, biology classes, over time just learning a lot of those lessons throughout my time in school, just like you're already doing.
Thyan in 5C asks what the name of that coral reef was.
Ooh, Thyan wanted to know what the name of that coral reef was. And yesterday we were diving off of Little Cayman, which we're still in Little Cayman now, and the reef we were on was called Cumber's Caves.
Thyan also wants to know how many different types of coral are there and how many are rare.
Wow, Thyan, you had some great questions yesterday, dude. So you asked again, how many different kinds of coral are there and how many are rare? Here in the Caribbean, there are approximately 47 different kinds of hard or stony corals that are helping to build that coral reef structure that we saw yesterday during our live lesson. However, in the Pacific Ocean, there are hundreds of species of corals, even thousands. So while it may seem like we have a lot of coral here, if you ever get a chance to go over to the Pacific Ocean, there's even more over there. So we get it pretty easy over here in the Caribbean. And how many are rare? Well, according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, the IUCN list, approximately 7 of the species that we have here in the Caribbean Sea, as well as Little Cayman, are listed as critically endangered or critically threatened corals. And we did see some of those on our dive yesterday.
Last question, Kimari wants to know what the name of the coral is. And that's the last question in the broadcast, so I think it's from the coral bleaching activity.
Okay, so that was whose question? Kimari?
Kimari.
So Kimari wanted to know what the name of that coral was. And so since we are answering today, not yesterday, I think we're going to assume that Kimari, you were wondering about the coral in the coral bleaching activity. It was a small coral about this big that I was showing you how to measure with that meter stick and also that coral color card that I had. And if that's the case, then that particular species was called mustard hill coral, or Porites asteroides. It's one of the most common corals that you see here on Little Cayman as well as in the Cayman Islands in general. So you may have even seen it when you're snorkeling at home. So great question, guys. I think that was it for your school. Thank you so much for asking them, and tune in today, later on this afternoon, for a Reefs Go Live on the lionfish and how it's a perfect invader. So thanks again, guys, and we'll see you soon.